Open games cost a hell of a lot of time. So here we are with the open worlds you should be seeing in 2023 and beyond. The best open worlds invite us to linger thanks to almost limitless game worlds and a sense of freedom. But that also makes them quite labor-intensive. Think huge games like Assassin's Creed, Odyssey or The Witcher 3 where we haven't seen everything even after 100 hours of play. You must invest your time well. That's why we're embarking on an expedition into the wide world of upcoming open-world games in 2023 to find the most promising candidates for you. Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. Like its iconic predecessor, the world of Bloodlines 2 will not be a continuous open world, but will consist of separate nodes. However, we are free to move around as much as possible. We not only wander around Seattle at night on the streets, but also explore the roofs of buildings or go down into the sewers. There are as many facets in this world as there are vampire clans in it. The first Bloodlines is considered an RPG for fans. A game that had a lot of quirks when it was released, but still managed to capture the hearts of many players and became a cult classic. Whether the successor will be as modern is still unknown. But if you're drawn to evil mania and welcome vampires or dark fantasy as your backdrop, Bloodlines 2 shouldn't disappoint you. Forspoken.
Resign themselves to their fate.
At first glance, the open world of Forspoken seems like something out of a fantasy game, featuring thick forests, desert, and ruins guarded by powerful monsters. Just looking at the main character Frey Holland, you can see an important detail. She wears modern casual clothes, that is, sneakers and a white t-shirt. Holland did not land in this world voluntarily, but, apparently, got there by chance or fate. Forspoken is being developed by Square Enix and Luminous Productions, the creators of Final Fantasy XV. Accordingly, Forspoken will also offer a rich combat system where magic plays an important role. An action-adventure should also offer a strong story aspect. Hogwarts Legacy. In an RPG set in the Harry Potter universe, we travel to 19th century Hogwarts, many years before the events of the books. However, there are some familiar characters in Hogwarts Legacy, such as the young Dumbledore, who himself was a student at Hogwarts at the time. But the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry is far from the only thing we can explore. Familiar places like the Forbidden Forest or the village of Hogsmeade are also waiting for us to discover them.
Hello, class. Please welcome the newest rose in our garden.
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge.
Hogwarts Legacy is clearly the RPG that Harry Potter fans have been waiting for years. But because it's a big fantasy open world with a compelling story, RPG combat, and puzzles, even newbies might enjoy Hogwarts Legacy.
Not bad for a beginner.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school.
Sons of the Forest. According to a poll, Sons of the Forest is currently the most highly anticipated survival game in the global e-sport news community. Perhaps this is due to the success of its predecessor The Forest, because not much is known about the second part. However, we know that hostile events and enemies with self-learning AI will reappear in the open world. This means that the enemies study our behavior, follow us through the forest and recognize our behavior patterns. Among the new features are the seasons that will affect our food sources and life in the world. Sons of the Forest wants to inspire solo players and co-op teams. Unlike many other survival games, it also relies on a story that you gradually unravel as you fight to survive. In terms of combat, the focus is on close combat, as ammo for firearms is extremely scarce and needs to be well invested. Starfield. Starfield is a new game from the creators of Elder Scrolls and Fallout from Bethesda. This in itself says a lot about the open world, although otherwise there is only scarce information about it. What is clear is that you travel from planet to planet with the help of spaceships, complete the main task and countless side tasks and explore a lot. Like Skyrim, the path is the goal, not necessarily the other way around.
Search facility is in this direction.
Fans of single-player RPGs should definitely check out Starfield. After all, this is also Bethesda's first new brand in 25 years. However, how complex the role-playing mechanics and combat system will be is still unclear. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl aims to stay true to the series' strengths. This means that you will once again explore the open game world of the Chernobyl reactor zone from a first-person perspective. You are not completely alone, as you are regularly drawn into battles with bandits, mutants and other enemies. Not to mention that dynamic weather events and anomalies can get you too. Those who love tense and atmospheric first-person shooters with RPG and survival elements can find their home in Stalker 2. However, the developers have yet to show much gameplay from the upcoming massive project. Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
Tyrants and would-be gods. Seen friends lose.
Dragon Age 4 is actually called Dragon Age Dreadwolf and sends players to the Tevinter Empire, a region shrouded in history but never played before. Much about the setting and plot is still unknown, but in the video above we have collected for you all the secrets revealed so far.
No ancient prophecy. The kind of person they'll never see coming.
After 6 years of waiting after the release of the third installment in the Inquisition series, fans are looking forward to Dragon Age 4. No wonder Dreadwolf is aimed at fantasy fans who love a lot of gaming freedom and at the same time want to follow the thread of the story. After a failed experiment by BioWare, Anthem Dreadwolf, by the way, will no longer rely on elements of multiplayer and live service, as originally planned, but will again become a classic single-player role-playing game.
Dragons, darkspawn, even the Dreadwolf.
The day before.
Stop playing with the light, goddammit!
In the day before, you are back in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. The pandemic has turned countless Americans into the undead, and the survivors find themselves in a struggle for survival. In an open game world that includes an abandoned city as well as rural areas and forests, you fight against zombies and other players while collecting rare loot such as ammunition and crafting materials. Players who don't mind playing pranks with the undead and global PvP. The day before is an MMO where you could theoretically be attacked by enemy players at any moment. Sounds like you need to take a good dose of disappointment with you. Redfall.
There's no one who can help you. I know sickness.
Redfall Arcane Studios takes you to an island city that's full of vampires and rumored to be about the size of Fallout 76. Solo or co-op, you shoot and fight in an open world with 6 different heroes, complete main and side missions, and collect a lot of loot. According to the leak, Redfall is very similar to the Borderlands series in terms of gameplay. Players who are looking for an RPG in the form of a shooter that brings out its strengths, especially in co-op play, will get their money's worth here. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
All of you are the worst of the worst of the worst. Still.
How does the open world work? We don't know for sure yet, because Rocksteady has withheld information about Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League until now. However, one thing is clear. We are either alone or with 3 friends in Metropolis as the Suicide Squad. Mission? Kill the Justice League because Superman, the Flash and company have gone mad and attacked humanity. The first gameplay trailer at least shows that the pace of the game will be quite fast and a bit like Sunset Overdrive.
You're perfect.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
This has one-way ticket written all over it.
Oi, what the hell have you sent us into? It's a bloody war zone out here.
Eyes up, people.
Congratulations, Task Force Act. You're the first assets to make it into Metropolis alive.
Obviously, the game is made for comic book fans who are already familiar with Rocksteady's Arkham universe. After all, despite the fact that the action of the Suicide Squad takes place in Metropolis, according to the developers, it belongs to its own game universe, and certain plot points from previous Batman games will be continued. In addition, Suicide Squad should be a hot topic for co-op friends.
Raise your hand if taking on the Justice League is the worst idea you've ever heard.
I kinda zoned out. What did you think would happen?
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. How does the open world work? In Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, you can freely explore the eponymous planet Pandora from the perspective of a member of the Na'vi tribe. However, the focus is on the western frontier, areas of which play no role in the film. It is not yet known what the gameplay will look like, but it is already known for sure that the game will take place in a first-person perspective. Of course, the Avatar game is based on the movie and the James Cameron universe. However, you probably don't need to know this, because Avatar, Pandora's Edge is supposed to tell its own story. However, there are no real details yet. Arc 2.
It's time to go.
At the Game Awards 2020, Arc 2 was announced. Since then there has not been much new information about the Dino survival game. Either way, what we know is already known. Vin Diesel is in the game. The first tidbits of this story are also known. Arc 2 takes place on an alien planet. And again it will be a survival sandbox with dino and other prehistoric animals that we can tame. Dino fans and survival fans should put Arc 2 on their watchlist. The first part has already become a cult game, and the continuation will surely bring new ideas and improvements. Tchia. In Tchia, you explore a tropical island with the eponymous heroine, who is based on the culture of New Caledonia. You jump and run through different areas, solve puzzles, and can even transform into animals and objects thanks to Tchia's supernatural powers. Players who enjoy a different open-world game experience. Because in Tchia there are no real fights, but a colorful 3D platformer awaits you, in which freedom of movement will be written in big letters. Nightingale. The new game from the former creators of BioWare offers not one open world, but several. You can enter the various open worlds of Nightingale through magical portals, in which various biomes and monsters await you and your fellow multiplayer players. But fighting isn't everything, as you'll also have to survive, build your own small villages and maybe meet other players.
We have searched for a way home.
Lost and alone in the dangerous labyrinth of fantastical worlds.
Even though Nightingale features ex-BioWare developers, the open-world game is aimed more at survival fans who have already had a lot of fun with Valheim. Single players will potentially benefit here only to a limited extent.
Or leading us deeper into this nightmare.
Atomic Heart. At this point, we should be honest enough to say, not a clue. Conflicting claims are constantly being made about whether Atomic Heart actually has an open world. It is assumed that there will be different biomes, but whether they will smoothly transition into each other remains open. At least, on the Steam product page, the developer explicitly talks about an open-world RPG. Imagine Fallout and BioShock throwing a nuke back and forth until one of them drops it, probably Fallout. As a result of an atomic explosion, their molecules first disintegrate, then randomly gather, and as a result, the Atomic Heart appears before us. Atomic Heart promises to be an intense and creepy first-person shooter that, like BioShock, will gain notoriety for its unusual visuals. Diablo 4. With Diablo 4, the RPG series takes a big step towards open-world gaming. A decision that fans have received with mixed feelings, as well as colleague Kevin asking in his preview what the open world in Diablo 4 is good for. But the elimination of loading screens brings another innovation, because for the first time we travel the world on the back of a mount. Thanks to the shared world system, we meet other players from time to time, but this should only happen outside of dungeons and story missions.
Shut up!
They have our scent. Run!
Diablo 4 is based on many innovations, but at many points it also wants to go back to the old days and borrow a lot from Diablo 2, which was just resurrected with Diablo 2, resurrected again. First of all, the classic character and item system served as a model for Diablo 4.
By 3, thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home.
DokeV. In DokeV, your task is to collect various creatures, which are called DokeV, just like in the Pokemon games. To do this, you travel through an open world, which consists of forests and even a huge city, and fight in real time with other DokeVs and, if necessary, their trainers. As is almost understandable for a good open world, there are also a few side activities planned here, such as kite flying or biking. DokeV needs to have a weakness for a certain graphic style. The game is poignant, colorful and very overloaded. But if you can live with it, then you can look forward to a single-player adventure with Pokemon Factor. Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert offers, at first glance, a fairly classic open world for the genre. On foot, on horseback, in a canoe or even on a hook, you explore a medieval fantasy world in which you complete tasks, fight enemies and collect new loot. Along the way, you can stop at villages and towns to sell items or talk to NPCs. While Crimson Desert actually started out as a prequel to the online RPG, Black Desert Online is now a standalone game with its own background world, and a single-player game where you even have to make decisions. In addition to this, however, there should be a campaign-independent multiplayer mode. Assassin's Creed Mirage. With Assassin's Creed Mirage comes the first AC since Valhalla. But instead of an action role-playing game like the last 3 installments, Ubisoft wants to introduce a more classic adventure game that is likely to be more focused on the first Assassin's Creed in its game mechanics. However, as far as the open world itself is concerned, Ubisoft is unlikely to change the established formula much. Those who didn't like the Assassin's Creed series' leap to RPGs can probably take another look at Mirage. Nostalgics will also get their money. After all, you can even visit Alamut Fortress, which was your base in the very first Assassin's Creed. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn.
Intend to find out.
The gates to the underworld have opened in Flintlock, and you have to fight the hordes of the undead. You will also explore a huge open world made up of different biomes such as desert or cave complexes. If you like the era of gunpowder, then you might like Flintlock. After all, here he enters into battle with one of the first firearms in history. At the same time, she mixes her setting with fantasy, so you can also use magic. Dune: Awakening. Dune: Awakening comes from the same creators who brought us Conan Exiles earlier. Accordingly, you can expect very similar gameplay here. Before you is a completely open world on the desert planet Arrakis, and first of all you need to survive here. However, sandstorms play an important role in this. They are not only dangerous, but also dynamically change the environment. For example, they can bury ruins beneath them or discover sunken ships that were thought to be forgotten. Dune fans have already had their eyes on the game anyway. But at the same time, fans of survival should also pay attention to it. With water scarcity, sandworms and spice as a drug to be mined, Dune: Awakening offers a number of interesting gameplay mechanics.
Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing.
the eye.
Also, if this is your first time on our channel, and you really liked our video, then subscribe, press your finger up and enjoy. And most importantly, play only good games. Thanks to all. Good luck.